France and its iconic capital, Paris, is usually near the top of most people's bucket list. And with pre-pandemic visitors of 90 million people in 2019, France is the most visited country in the world. It is one of our favorite countries to visit, and we have been all over.
However, in May of this year, we took off for places we've never seen before. But first, we did the must-dos again in Paris. We toured the incomparable Louvre with its world-famous art, visited Notre Dame to see the progress on restoration from the fire in 2019, and of course visited the Eiffel Tower, but this time with a different view. We climbed it.
Did you know that the tower hosts several challenges? Mountain bike ascents, moto trial racing, on the stairs, roller skating, ramp, zip lining, slacklining, and more.
No thanks. You can't miss a trip to nearby Versailles in all its opulent glory, the Hall of Mirrors and gorgeous gardens.
Back in Paris, where better to take a cooking class? So we did. Then it was time to hit the road, and we headed south to Lyon, which dates back 2,000 years to Roman times. The historical city center is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Up next, the Alps, as we headed east, stopping briefly in Geneva, Switzerland, and the quaint French village of Annecy, to the lovely French ski resort town of Chamonix, which is nestled at the bottom of the Alps and with close proximity to the highest peak in the range, Mont Blanc.
We rode a cable car up several miles to Aiguille du Midi for a close-up view of Mont Blanc. The ride itself is thrilling as you glide over glaciers and get spectacular panoramic views of the Alps. Skiers ride up in the cable cars too, but come down on their own. This was breathtaking and one of our all-time favorite tours.
Winding back down through the Alps from Chamonix, we visited Provence, a gorgeous region in France known for its beautiful fields of lavender and historic beautiful towns such as Avignon. The Avignon city center is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site and features the Papal Palace, which became the home of the popes for many years in the 14th century.
We also visited Pont du Gard, the Roman aqueduct bridge that is an architectural wonder and has stood for 2,000 years. But one of our favorite stops was the small village of St. Remy. It was here that Vincent van Gogh committed himself to a sanitarium for a year. We visited the very room that Van Gogh lived in and walked the grounds that gave him inspiration for more than 140 paintings, many of his most famous.
On our way west, we visited the small country of Andorra that is in the Pyrenees Mountains, sandwiched between France and Spain, and accessed via a pretty hairy, windy road. Then back to France with a stop in Bordeaux before arriving at one of our most anticipated stops, the Loire Valley.
The Loire Valley, which is located along the Loire River in central France, is also referred to as the Garden of France because of its multitude of vineyards and fruit orchards, and the central part of the region is also on the list of World Heritage Sites. It is also known for stunning architecture, with castles such as the Château de Chambord, which is arguably the most recognizable chateau in the world.
Nearby is another chateau called Clos Luce that had a very famous resident that may surprise you. The King of France invited the artist and inventor Leonardo da Vinci to move from Italy to this chateau in 1516, and he lived out his life there, dying 3 years later. He brought with him the Mona Lisa, which is why it is now housed in the Louvre.
In the valley, we toured a vineyard that has been in the same family for 500 years, and our guide was the current owner, who is a count. It was a most pleasant day with wine tasting and picnic lunch overlooking the family's vineyard, castle, and beautiful Loire Valley.
We ended where we began, in Paris, after 2 weeks of traveling France and experiencing its gorgeous sights, amazing history, wonderful food, and, believe it or not, friendly, helpful people. It's no wonder that France is the most visited country in the world. For Great Day TV, we're Ann and John.